So I'm going to start back with talking about some of what's been going on with the boat. So I have been using it a lot more. The projects that I've been taking on have just been a lot less visible, and so it's been very difficult to make videos, or it hasn't been very inspirational to show what's been changing. But I'll go ahead and show a little bit of what's been going on in here, based on the last video, maybe going a little bit into detail on the power side in this particular video. I think I have the power side pretty much where I want it to be, and once again, I'm running air conditioning on this boat. I go out for the full day, have plenty of energy, I run the stereo, I'm running everything in here, plus the air conditioner, plus a cooktop. I actually removed the cooktop that I had in here. I'm contemplating putting in a built-in, but I'll get a little bit more into that. So, to go through a little bit of what's changed on the boat. So, I had this cover made for the bench seating. That way I keep these seats in good shape. I secured the bow glass. So now we have the bow glass in place. The bimini is going to be changed, and the bimini is going to be done to match this cover, but it didn't seem like a drastic thing to do right now, and the cover was more important to me, but I will get to that. There's some other stuff in here, so you can see where I'm keeping the GPS, but we had already seen that. And then the miscellaneous switches here and there. So, boat's upside down right now, just because I was working on a few things, and I'm working on cleaning up in here. I had these in place. These weren't secured. Now they're secured. I haven't done anything on the platform. Let's talk about the power. So, I'm going to start from the very beginning. This is for my alternator system. So, I have two Electromax 120 amp alternators. Those 120 amp alternators are feeding this distribution panel. Hang on one second, let me get some lights on. It's not over here. It is over there. So, looking back over there, so that's the AT3 system by Electromax. So the two alternators are connected. That's this cable, and this cable come from the two alternators. This one then feeds my distribution panel, which is connected to the lithium batteries. I didn't wire everything else. I just didn't find the need to. I have enough monitoring with everything else. So my alternators charge the lithiums directly. They're made to do that. So that's what this guy does. So I have the two regulators, and then this regulates the regulators of the alternators, and adjusts the voltage, controls the voltage, so that I don't kick out the BMS of the batteries, or I don't activate the BMS of the batteries. Those are the three batteries. So I have the three. These are our Mabru batteries, 250 amp hours apiece. You won't see these on our website anymore. We actually discontinued these batteries, but I had already adjusted everything for these to fit. I like that metallic casing, and I decided to go this route. These also have a reset button. If you do, so everything has to be manually reset if you do engage a low voltage protection on the BMS of these batteries, to make sure that you don't drop the batteries too low. So here are my three batteries, 250 amp hours apiece, 750 amp hours total, which are then feeding my 3,000 watt Victron inverter charger. It's a multi plus 2 3000, 12 volts, 120 out. Then over here I have a hotspot so that I can remote monitor with the Servo GX. Here I have my Ruby tags. So I have one to monitor the temperature in this area. I have another one for the fridge. Now going back to the charging. So I'm charging the house. service, my lithium bank with the alternators. But I still have 2 engines, and the engines do need to be charged. And that's where these guys come into play. So from these 2 are connected to from the house. I have a common input, and then I'm spreading that between the 2 engine batteries that used to be back over here in this corner, but I ultimately decided to move them into this space here. So I needed a bit of weight on the port side of the boat. This did the trick perfectly, and that's why my engine batteries are now on this side, and now I have all the room for the Victron and all the other fun stuff over there. So through the Victron, I also have the Touch GX 7, so the 7-inch touch setup. So let's start about what I'm looking at in here. So from the shore power, I'm putting in 1,000 watts. The AC is drawing 907 watts, give or take. I still have my outlets on, but ballpark 900 watts is what I'm drawing. My batteries are at 100%. I'm kind of bouncing around here just because, well, it's just maintaining what's on there right now, drawing 15 watts, and it's going to go positive. And so what I'm going to do is I'm now going to show on the air conditioning, so this is the 17 VI, 17 variable. I'm going to, let's get back to that actually. So my return temperature 78 degrees, the evaporator is down to 56. My condenser is a bit high at 113, so this is something caused by the Venturi system that I decided to add, and I'm just kind of playing with this to get this condenser temperature as good as possible. But at these current temperatures, I'm just drawing a bit more power than I typically would. So I'm going to come here. We saw that I was right around 900 watts, and all I did is reduce the fan speed to fan speed 1. So on these units, we're talking about variable capacity compressors, variable speed compressors, variable capacity systems. And what that allows me to do is if I want to run, obviously with 3,000 watts and 1,000 watts of draw, I still have 2,000 watts available, and I don't really see that becoming a problem for me. But there are boats that they have some power limitations, and it's good to be able to reduce the speed so easily. So just by adjusting that fan speed, well, let me actually go a little bit further with this. So, asking for 73 degrees now on the boat. It's 78 in the boat right now. And you can see that I'm only drawing right around 500 watts. I can certainly bring the consumption down a little bit more. So this is my locked speed. The locked speed. So I have a very big difference in the temperature that I'm looking for versus what I have in here right now. So I'm going to close the gap now. I'm going to set the unit for my set temperature. And we'll see here that the unit can certainly draw less than 500 watts. I'm going to let it continue doing its thing. I'll come back and check on it in the next that's going to be about where I'm going to be at. And this is also, of course, including the pump loads. You can look at the flow coming out of the side. As I've said in earlier videos, so the water is moosey, and that's due to that Venturi system I was talking about earlier. That sucks water out of the drain rather than just being a gravity-fed system. So for the time being, it's not something I'm recommending. I'm testing it, playing with it to see if it's something that we can offer, something that we can recommend. Aside from that, I was having some issues with water intrusion on the bow rail, and something that wasn't really becoming a big deal to me, but finally decided today that I would take it on. So I removed, it was really on the starboard side, so I removed the starboard side bow rail as the starboard side supports, siliconed, or not siliconed, I used 4200 on everything. I would not use 5200 for an application like this. It would be a bear to remove, number one. And number two, it would also cause an issue that it would turn yellow with time. So certainly not really ideal. And that pretty much sums up what comes to my mind right now. Certainly we've done some engine maintenance. I'm due to replace the spark plugs on the engines because I'm not getting the RPMs that I really want to see. But overall, very happy with how everything's going. I may not have mentioned this actually. So I've talked about my flushing. So I flush my unit with that. That's a port to back flush with the city water. And then I have another similar looking port, or identical looking port right over here. And so this side, what this does is a connection to my freshwater system of the boat. So all I have to do is grab a hose, connect it in here, and then I have water wherever I want in the boat, typically used for to rinse off when we come out of the water, but can also use it to rinse off different areas of the vessel.